Chapter 15, Episode 7 of The Mandalorian Season 2 is here. And I have to admit that I enjoyed this episode way more than I was expecting, so let's get right into it. Instead of the majority of this episode being about breaking Migs Mayfield out of a prison, Cara Dune, aka Marshall Dune, just shows up at the prison and takes Mayfield with her. I certainly didn't see that one coming, and I was also surprised to see Boba Fett's armor with a fresh coat of paint on it, but hey, it certainly looked cool. That said, Migs Mayfield tells them that they need to go to Morak, where there's a secret Imperial mining facility, and once there, he should be able to point them in the right direction of Moff Gideon's cruiser. With this episode, the surprises just keep rolling in, because we have the Mando himself, Din Djarin, taking off that Mandalorian armor and donning some lowly stormtrooper armor, as he and Mayfield commandeer a shipment of ore and use it to slip past security and enter the Imperial base. Of course, before they enter that Imperial base, Mando and Mayfield have to fight off that are trying to explode the volatile ore that they're transporting. It makes for a fun and suspenseful scene, and after a couple episodes of Ahsoka and Boba Fett really wrecking shop, it was great to see the action focused on Mando, even if it was a little strange that he was wearing stormtrooper armor. And at this point we get a little bit of dialogue with Migs Mayfield and Mando. Mayfield talks about personal codes of honor and survival, and doing what you have to get the job done. And as I was watching the episode for the first time, I thought this dialogue was a bit of a waste, but it was definitely a bit of foreshadowing for what was coming next. And that is Din Djarin going as far as to take off his helmet and reveal his face. That's right, for only the second time in 2 seasons, we get to see the face of Pedro Pascal, and it's as he's extracting information about where to find Moff Gideon. And as he's extracting that super important information, he's confronted by an Imperial officer. And I thought Pedro Pascal did such a great job acting as Din Djarin, a fish out of water with no helmet on. I mean, his face was emotionless and tense, exactly the way it should be for somebody who's not used to taking off his helmet in front of other folks. But honestly, that wasn't the favorite part of the episode for me. It was actually the next sequence in which the Imperial officer decides to buy Din Djarin and Mayfield a drink, and during the conversation with the Imperial officer, Mayfield brings up Operation Cinder, which was cool to hear, and he calls into question what actually happened with his platoon during that time. And hey, at this point I just want to say Bill Bird, considering he's a stand-up comedian, he did an absolutely fantastic job acting in this situation. I mean, Mayfield has this PTSD type moment and ends up shooting the Imperial officer. Luckily, he and Din Djarin are able to escape thanks to some cover fire from Cara Dune and Fennec Shan. And I thought it was a really nice touch that after Boba Fett picks them up in the Slave One, Mayfield is able to blow the entire refinery. But hey, Star Wars fans, there's a lot more I want to talk about in this episode. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.